How's it going, guys? It's Mr. Lone Wolf, and today I'm going to go and do this weightlifting one where you got to go and drag a train. Hence why I've got the some of the beasts out. So I've got a Bruce, a TwinSteer, a P16, Dan, a Kolob, and then I've got the Boar as well. I thought I'd give that a little go. Wouldn't really be my first choice for this kind of thing, but considering it's a new truck, I thought I'd throw it in and give it a go. Yeah, so you got to go and grab this train down here. There's a train there. And there's one long track, it's pretty simple, drag it all the way to there at the railway station. Like I said, fortunately this track isn't broke, the other track is, and you're going to have to do a repair mission on that. Yeah, in the description it just says we need to tow it, but we've got no locomotive. But you see, you don't need a locomotive, just got to give a loaf a motive. And my loaf's motivation today, it's principles, XP, although I don't really need that anymore. Money, we'll always take a bit of money. And yeah, just some people have been saying that the Loaf isn't able to tow the train, but as I've specified in the past, if you put the right footwear on your Loaf, then you can do anything. It's just a goddamn professional. So yeah, I'm going to head there. Well, I was kind of bringing all these different trucks anyway. I thought I'd bring some of the beasts, have a little quick test with them, see what can and can't move the trains. So yeah, it was just to see that really, and then eventually I'll pick one of them and I'll tow the train. Again, I'm cutting out most of the journeys of them on the way there. There's a beast of a horn. Yeah, I will leave the Kolob one in, but this was just all of them on their way here. When I got here with the P16, I had a little cheeky go before I'd got them all there. And yeah, good start really. The P16's able to push it. The Dan wasn't even giving me a push there either. And then yeah, the last to bring is the Kolob and the Boar. It's about as close to that wall as you could get without hitting it. Yeah, I was looking forward to the Kolob because it is a bit of a heavy hauling beast machine. Of course, he's got another goddamn beast on his back. Yeah, the Boar, I don't know, I wasn't too sure. This driving here was probably the easiest because the Kolob's got the advanced special, but the Boar's got the sort of the high range off-road. It might have the fine tuning though. Yeah, so it kind of actually, even though I'm towing it along, it's pretty much going as fast as my Kolob is anyway. So there's, as you can see, the winch cable is kind of slack for the majority of it. So yeah, the drive down there anyway is nothing special. We'll be there in a couple of minutes. I'll just kind of cut through this. I thought it was easier to kind of cut down through the factory. I didn't squeeze through the trees because they've put some bloody tree stumps there. It's not too bad for the normal sized trucks, but trying to squeeze these beasts through there, it's probably more hassle than it's even worth. And yeah, my hope with some of these trucks, particularly the Kolob, was that with the kind of tyre width, if I could just perfectly bridge the railway tracks and kind of sit in the middle. But as you can see, even when you're in the middle, the tracks are leaning all over the place and all sorts. So yeah, the Kolob's doing a bit of a drift. The Boar has started tipping, and the Loaf at the back. See, it looks like he was about to slip off, but he's actually, it's like a dog. When you've got a dog in the back seat, it just wants to look out the window and see what's going on. That's all my Loaf's doing. He's excited. He's just excited because he wants to prove that he can haul trains. And yeah, again, with this track, it's just literally one long straight, so there's no craziness to it or anything. Although you'll see, I did somehow manage to roll the train. I managed to roll the train on this straight piece of track. But we'll get to that later. My gut, well, I thought the Kolob will definitely do it. I wasn't too sure about the Boar. The P16 I had a good feeling, just because I do think that is a beast, and I kind of, yeah, I had to bring that along and check. Bruce, I think I'll have no problem. Dan, I wasn't too sure. The TwinSteer, it's not, one of the issues is like, there's a few ways you can sort of winch this train. You can push it from behind, you can pull it, or you can kind of get alongside it and attach one of the side winches and kind of walk it down the track that way, which I think that's how horses used to walk like barges down the canals hundreds of years ago before they had motors and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, so it worked then. I mean, speaking of horses, yeah, look, I was just reversing up the Loaf. He finally slipped off, but I had to leave this in. This is why you never go with a Loaf. I mean, his engine still fires up. So now, get a winch, so I could only reach the tree. So I was like, so, not the tree, the train even. So start winching to the train. Got his wheels hooked up there. He's going for it. Gets back up to about there, it was going pretty nicely, however the nose of him is kind of caught on the front of the boar. So, while I'm still hanging onto the train, switch winch. That was a little glitch there, not on edit, only like half a second. Yeah, stick a winch onto the boar, turned it into like a zombie boar. For whatever reason, it wasn't driving forward then at first, so I had to just make sure I'm fully infected its brains and make it start listening. So I reversed, made it reverse, then I drove forward, made it drive forward, because I was trying to line my loaf better up with the train. So he knows what he's doing. It's certainly not his first time he's rescued himself, got himself back on a truck. And there we go, bit of reverse. Scoot him over that, what's it called, the saddle. It slips off the back, but you see, he's not touching the floor. If this was a game of like the floor is lava, he'd still be in. So it counts. Grab that tree in front, and he's back on. I mean, I've said it before, but I'll say it again. What a goddamn professional. Yeah, so again, this is the track. It was nice just to draw one big fat straight line for once, instead of drawing like 50 zigzagging lines going all over the place. I don't know why it was as satisfying as it was, but it was. I can confirm. Yeah, so first up, we're going to get the boar then. I suppose that's what's here. I just cut it out, but I'll put all the trucks that side. But yeah, we'll line them up. This one was kind of in the way, so we'll send them in. And yeah, at least this one I have got the fine tuning. It has got a wheel drive and diff locks though, worst case, but it did actually, to its credit, it dug in just fine, and it started pushing the train even from like a standing start. I didn't really sort of bump into it. So yeah, it did pretty well. Reverse though, not really having it there. Even put the diffs on, it still wasn't really working. Just have a quick test. I mean, again, just to show you, a loaf can push a train if you put the right shoes on. I am in the loaf. I've zombie winched a boar, and we're pushing a train. It's as simple as that. See? It's a goddamn horse of a vehicle. Chilling in my loaf. Moving trains. Yeah, if you kind of get a little bit of a run up and stick the winch on, the train, it's pretty hard to get moving, but once you've got a bit of momentum going, which would be kind of true to real life really, getting it actually physically rolling is kind of the hard part. Even when you see like those world's strongest men start towing a lorry or something crazy, they yeah, getting started is the hard part. Once you actually got the lorry moving, it's a little bit easier. Yeah, or you can do that, kind of fly along the side, like I said, stick a winch out onto the side, and yeah, drive along that way. Stuck a winch on. As I was at the side of the tracks now, and it's kind of, you're just in the mud and it's more planted instead of bridging the tracks, it was able to pull it in reverse. Probably a little bump start as well, because I kind of reversed into it and pulled it, but it worked. Stopped the train, so yeah, I have to say the boar is definitely doable. Next up is Dan. And again, just from a standing, absolutely, like, I was barely squeezing the trigger and it was already pushing it, so that was definitely no problem. Zombie Dan. It is working. For some reason, Zombie Dan's turning hard left. Oh no, I think his wheel's straightened up a bit now. But yeah, again, there's another loaf, pushing a train with a different pair of shoes. But a suitable pair of shoes nonetheless. Dan shoes, to be specific. Reversing with it, I think, yeah, get a little run up. It wasn't really liking it too much if I was just like a still start, but a little run up, stick the winch on, and we, yeah. So again, the Dan, there's another pass. So next up, the old TwinSteer. I was figuring this should be alright, because it's got some pretty decent power, especially now it's got the all-wheel drive and all the rest of it. And yeah, had no issues pushing it. Struggling a little bit there, like reversing, but once I actually dropped it, sort of, well, reverse, but diffs on, yeah, no problem. Plenty of horsepower in that one. Had to have a quick go. Zombie winch a TwinSteer, but no, it wasn't having it. For whatever reason, obviously I'm not able to put the diffs on while I'm in the loaf, so turns out TwinSteer wellies are not suitable. Yeah, Bruce. Standing start on the reverse, not so good, although I am kind of half leaning up on the tracks as well, which probably doesn't help too much. However, get a little bump start reverse, and as you can see, once you get the train, yeah, moving, it kind of starts rolling, then not too bad. What I should have tried, and I will try, in fact, I didn't really think about it until I was editing this video, but what I need to do is like bump start a train and get it moving, and then jump into a loaf and attach the winch, because I wonder if a loaf, like, well, long story short, I did try with a loaf to tow the train, and I was actually able to get some little loaf holes on the go, got his tyres hooked in like those railway sleepers that the tracks are on. And I was pulling the train, but it was insanely slow. Like, I certainly wouldn't recommend it, but it was working officially. Yeah, Zombie Bruce. Again, another loaf. Suitable footwear. Bruce boots. They are a go. Yeah, the Kolob is just a bit of a beast, to be honest. Standing start. Well, again, apologies, tiny little glitch there, but yeah, standing start reverse. Absolutely no problems. Obviously, like a bump start reverse would be no issue. Stops in the way, stops the train pretty good. Standing start, pushing it, absolutely no problems. Again, it's just a good truck. I mean, there's plenty of weight to this truck. 8 lots of tyres. They're nice wide tyres as well. So, I mean, that's the thing where, like I was saying, the Boar could do with tyres like this. I believe somebody is telling me today, I appreciate it, that this has got 59-inch tyres on, and the Boar is 58s, I think. So yeah, not only has this got an extra axle, extra fat tyres, yeah, it's also got an extra inch. That's what she said. Can always enjoy an extra inch. Yeah, next up, P16. It is a beast. I was glad it absolutely had no issues whatsoever. Even in reverse now, once it got lined up in the tracks, standing start reverse, it was doing it, which is pretty impressive really, because it's not even all-wheel drive. And the fact that I'm on kind of an angle, yeah, 2 of its rear wheels really are kind of sticking up in the air, but it did it, had enough grip. So I was originally going to use this one in the end. That's my gut feeling, that I was going to take the P16. Zombie winch though, not too good. So P16 shoes, not recommended. Yeah, so like I said, in the end though, to be honest, I liked how easy the Kolob was. The other nice thing with the Kolob, that even though it hasn't officially got like a sideboard or anything like that, you're able to actually pack a loaf on the back, which is pretty damn cool. I should imagine from the size of its head, you could pack a loaf on there as well. And yeah, as you can see, holding along, no issues. And all in all, I mean, I was doing a bit of messing around and that. Although this is a shorter video for today, I kind of wanted to go for a bit of a shorter one, as I've been doing a couple of longer videos recently with some of the bigger contracts. Yeah, if you just drove down here in a Kolob, personally, I would recommend bringing a loaf, because you never know. But if you don't, yeah, I mean, what, 3 minutes odd to drive here? Grab this, you could probably do this mission in less than 10 minutes. And to be fair, I believe all the trucks I took, all the big beasts, actually had no trouble pulling it. I don't know about stuff like, it crossed my mind for a second, shall I take the Derry? But again, I was just like, there's no point, because even if by some miracle it could pull the train, which it probably can, it'd still be pretty slow about it. And yeah, it certainly wouldn't have been the one I would have ended up properly towing the train with, so we didn't bother with that. And then you'll see now, I was kind of wiggling around, I was trying to stay on the middle tracks, and then I must have done something, I must have bumped into the train, I think, and kind of nudged it off the track, because you'll see about now, it must hit me, derail, oh no, and then it yanks me back, like, yanked the Kolob backwards like it was nothing. It's looking now like, oh dear, what have we done, Loaf? Should we just flee the scene? I mean, in real life, if you tip a train but no one is there to witness it, did you even tip it? From a legal standpoint, technically not. Yeah, I tried winching it over, not a chance. I even sent in a Bruce with a crane. Yeah, not even, didn't even twitch. And you can see as soon as I release the crane, it kind of pings up in the air. Sadly, the heavy wrecker is missing at the minute, so I wasn't able to test if that crane would be able to lift it or not. However, the good thing is the train stays on the map after you complete this mission, so yeah, I can still do other things with it, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I kind of skipped ahead. I mean, I had to restart the mission and drive back with the Kolob and tow this thing again. I just kind of cut that bit out and started pretty much where we tipped it last time. And again, I'm trying to just bridge the gap. If you get it just right, the rails do sit quite nicely inside the tyres of the Kolob, but again, it's not actually as smooth as you think. I'm not sure if there's like slight invisible hitbox situations going on, but yeah, it starts to kind of make you veer left and right, and eventually one of your tyres kind of bumps over. But nonetheless, I mean, what we're in, yeah, 5th out of 5 in the auto, so no issues. Probably, I suppose it would have been quite nice actually. Well, again, the train stayed there, so I might try again with the TwinSteer and just see how flat out we can get the train going. Let's try and... yeah, probably the TwinSteer is probably going to be the fastest that's able to haul the train anyway. The Royal's pretty quick, but I don't think anything will be getting up to 8th gear out of 8 in the high range. But yeah, the TwinSteer is pretty quick in high range, so we might have to try a bit of high-speed train manoeuvres. It's quite lucky now as well, as I was kind of going along like this. I had the camera behind me for no apparent reason. I just switched sides of the track, and it happened to be like perfect timing. I would have smashed into that post, and then I would have had a train up my rear end, pretty sharpish, that would have sandwiched me. And yeah, I wanted to smash it into the into the trailers, my log trailers, but I drove over the mission thing and it completed. But there you go though. What's it, like 1400 XP? Again, don't really need that. Is it like 8.5 grand? I wish it wouldn't shrink the screen when I really need to see it. Yeah, not too bad. I mean, like I said, you could do this mission in less than 10 minutes. I couldn't resist. It was a bit anticlimactic, but I did tow the train into the trailers and nothing really happened. Then I realised I was blocking kind of, yeah, the warehouse side of the railway, so moving the train out of the way, but that's about it. Yeah, as for the track, I've got a feeling, especially if you bump start, like your little run up with it with a winch, most things are going to be able to tow this train, I reckon. Certainly the beasts like this just absolutely walk it. It was quite enjoyable with the Kolob. That was about it. On my way back to the garage, for some reason I just decided to face plant the garage because I can. Oh no, a wolf started trying to eat me. Now, like, what? All my tyres are off the floor. Oh no. There's only one thing left to do in this kind of situation. Let's prepare the horse. Unpack him. Lift my suspension up. Get my little Kolob toes off the floor. As you can see, he's straight into action. Doesn't even take any damage. Gets a reverse start, stick a winch out, and bam! Rips a Kolob out of an actual wall. What a horse. That's about it for today though. I hope you've enjoyed, I hope that helps. Thanks for watching, thanks to my Patreon members, and I'll be back soon.